Good morning, Veronica, and good morning, colleagues. It's Thursday morning. Just recently, the Lagos State government banned the use of single-use plastics. I think it's all about trying to check the erosion and the flooding in the state. Mm-hmm. What do you think about this, Mo?
Yeah, it's a good one, protecting the environment and also the coast, because, the use of plastics has been on for, controlling the use of plastics have been on for a while. I think Lagos State joins over 70 states and 70 countries who have placed a ban on the single use of plastic. So it's a good one to protect the environment against flooding. We have seen rising cases of flooding across the country. So them taking a step, and they are also close to the coastal lines. So this is quite a step in the right direction. I hope that other states too can also replicate this, because this it goes a long way in protecting the environment, litters everywhere and all of that. So it's a good way to go.
Because there are degradable plastics, so they can encourage the production of degradable items, degradable nylons and all that, so that we don't get our drainages clogged. And I think, like you said, it's something that other states should copy. Even here in Abuja, if you go to parts of the north, you realize that people dispose of plastics and nylon bags indiscriminately, and you see them clogging drainages. And I think if we want to fight erosion, if we want to fight flooding, this is an approach we must adopt.
I think it's also possible that we can achieve a zero plastic use, because there are some productions where you see them use paper. Those are easily degradable. So if we could also shift from that, I know it's going to be quite a long way to go, but of course it's something that is achievable.
Go to the shopping mall, stop them from using exactly, those nylon bags.
Gradually incorporating. I think I've seen some supermarkets adopting that, using all those paper bags. So if other people can adopt it,
will not even give you have to pay for it.
Maybe that's the government have to make it enforce it, and make it compulsory that they use.
Sure,
such
one
things.
way to go if we're going to fight all this menace.
Of course. Well, let's take you to what we have for you today. It's a beautiful Thursday morning here in the capital city of Abuja, and thank you for tuning in to FCT Brief. The political landscape in Nigeria is experiencing a major shift as the African Democratic Congress emerges as a new rallying point for opposition politicians. With internal wranglings, defections, and dissatisfaction brewing in some major parties, the ADC appears to be gaining momentum ahead of the 2027 general elections. Once seen as a fringe party on the margins of Nigeria's political scene, the African Democratic Congress is fast becoming the new political destination for disenchanted opposition figures. In recent weeks, a wave of defections from various political blocs has brought fresh attention and new life to the ADC.
Among the new entrants are former lawmakers, state assembly members, party chieftains, and even governors from the PDP, Labour Party, and other smaller parties. Now, the common goal, to form a united front capable of challenging the ruling party's dominance in the next election cycle. Now, the ADC leadership has welcomed the influx, describing it as a strategic expansion that strengthens the party's base and national presence. Party officials say consultations are ongoing, with more high-profile politicians likely to make the switch in the coming months. As Nigeria edges closer to 2027, the shifting alliances and growing appeal of smaller parties like the ADC may reshape the country's political future. Whether this momentum will translate to electoral success remains to be seen. For more on this development in the political space, let's speak with TVC News' Demola Lawrence. And we also have Idris Kaigo, a former PDP member, that will be joining us on this program. Both of them will be joining us via Zoom. Now, Demola, nice to have you.
Yeah, good morning.
Yeah, you were at the, unveiling or the formal declaration for the ADC. Bring us up speed. What exactly were the things you observed and you observed yesterday?
Okay, so it was a formal adoption of the African Democratic Congress by the coalition. The coalition started, the consultation started like 18 months ago, according to the coalitions. That's what he said yesterday. where they were trying to make sure that they have a good partnership with the different political parties. So remember, the coalition had already spoken about having to form a new political party before, but I think that they thought this through and they saw that, okay, because for you to form a political party, it takes another 90 days before you get confirmed, and it takes another 30 days before INEC will say, okay, ratify it. It takes another 60 days, and those according to the Electoral Act. So all of those things, I'm very sure they looked at it and they saw that it wasn't going to be viable for them, knowing that by next year, the electoral activities had already kickstarted, even this year already. And they settled down for ADC. And it was on the forum of, okay, the agreed politicians who came together, and I felt like, okay, we need to take power back in 2027. Don't forget, majority of the people that you saw in that particular, this particular video clip that you're seeing, majority of them are from the bloc of the former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, who came with him from the PDP. And remember in 2023, when he got the presidential candidate of the PDP, the same man who was the, I think was the chairman planning committee for the PDP convention was David Mark. I remember because I covered that convention. It was David Mark. There's the same man that's now the interim chairman of the ADC. A whole lot still needs to unravel itself in terms of the legal battle that this particular ADC is going to face, because there is a legal battle on ground ready. As of yesterday, you saw the former ADC presidential candidate coming out to say, "Hey, you came in through the back. You have to come in through the door or the front door." To say the ones that you are with, that has to do with Ralph Nwosu and the likes, are not the real authentic ADC members. The ones that you have to come to are we, which is of course talking about Kachukwu Dumebi, who was the presidential candidate of the party in 2023. So there's still a lot to unravel in this particular marriage. It's a marriage of one leg in, one leg out. Who is going to be the bride? Whether the old ones who were there or the new ones who came in, time will tell in months and in weeks and of course in a year. Some even said maybe by the end of 2026, going to the end of 2026, majority of them are actually, because the legal battle might be stretched to them. And listening to Kachukwu yesterday when he came on TVC, and he spoke about how the former ADC chairman, national chairman, Ralph Nwosu, his tenure had already expired. But I asked a critical question. If you are to go for the next NEC meeting, who is going to sign the paper given to INEC? So there needs to be a national secretary and there needs to be a national chairman. So in that case, what happens to them? So, but there's a lot. There's a lot happening in these few times, and it's just trying to heat up the polity. I was talking to somebody yesterday. I said, what we have seen in the last 2 years of this administration in terms of playing politics and is more than what we have seen in the last 7 years.
All right, Demola, if you could just hold on. We have Mr. Kalongo joining us now live. Let's speak with him. Good morning, Mr. Kalongo. Kalgo.
Thank you very much, my sister.
Thank you.
The name is Kalgo.
Kalgo. All right. Thank you for the correction. Well, you've been a face within the PDP and even contesting the governorship election in 2019 and leading the Atiku youth wing. What inspired this recent decision to join the ADC?
Thank you very much, my sister. In politics, it's all about winning. And we don't see PDP winning any election. PDP is no longer a political party, but just a political group. So that is why we choose, say, okay, now we need a better platform where we can show ourselves better and then we give Nigerians base of candidates to contest for the election completed in the subsequent. PDP is not going to give you any candidate that will win presidential election, moreover, but rather will give you just a candidate who will just be a walkover for Tinubu. That's all what people like we here are trying to do in the PDP. So we allow them, let them have the PDP, so that now we come together. The fear of Rotimi Amechi, the fear of Atiku Abubakar, the fear of Peter Obi, the fear of Namala Nasser El-Rufai, and many more, and even David Mark. It is what is shaking this APC government. So many things, people have been talking about many things. Like my brother here was saying something which I'm sure he doesn't even know what is going on. I think you should go back and check properly. Who is in control of a political party? Is it the presidential candidate, or the National Working Committee, or the BOT? The National Working Committee were there yesterday. The BOT members were there yesterday. So who is even the presidential candidate? We don't even know
Mr.
him.
Cargo, you agree with me?
Yes.
Agree with me that it is the same faces that formed the PDP that are just moving into the new coalition, and other dissatisfied members from other political parties. So how do you now manage this interest and ensure that you don't have a repeat of the same situation? Because it's almost like the same set of people just wearing new clothes, no change in faces.
Yeah, the same people, but on a different platform now, with a different ideology now. That is why if you look 2015, if people are saying these people means nothing, these are the same people that changed the government in 2015. And then now they are back. They say, look, this is how we're going to do it, and this is how we're going to put it. They understand that Nigerians are tired. When you say they are part of the previous government, were they in charge of the previous government? No, they are not. Some of them are just ministers. So how can they be in charge? People keep complaining about Atiku was a bad president.
Most of those people we saw yesterday were part of the former governments. Talking about when PDP ruled, former governors there, Atiku Abubakar, Amechi, and several others were former governors, so they were in charge. They were not just appointees. Now, just like my colleague said, if you were in PDP and you left the PDP because you said some people have hijacked the party, you're going to face opposition also in the ADC. You're already facing opposition. Is it possible also that you people will leave the ADC again because you have stiff opposition in the ADC? Or what exactly should Nigerians be expecting from you?
You should get this thing right. If you have been following up the trend of what's going on in the PDP, you understand it. Everywhere it's all about chaos in PDP, not only at the national level. We have a national working committee at the PDP that are answerable to just only one single individual because he used to give them some free peanuts. That is not a political party. You have a political party, which is then the PDP, where the youth have no any say in the PDP, in the party. Is that a political party? Is that a political party where members of the BOT are not even allowed to attend the NEC meeting? Where you use police to harass people, the BOT members? A political party is supposed to be for everybody. Nobody's above the law in the political party. It is the same PDP where we have some sitting governors who say they are not going to support their presidential candidates. And we have a constitution. We are not animals, my brother. The constitution of PDP one says, if you do any anti-party, you should be expelled with immediate effect. You are here, and then I'm sure you are saying what is happening. Wike comes on the national TV and says he's going to support Tinubu 2027, and then he still remains in the PDP. Is that a serious party, my brother?
All right,
ADC
Mr. Kalgo.
is a different party.
Mr. Kalgo.
ADC is a different party, and then we believe in their ideology, and that's why we're coming in, and then we chip in some things, and then we push for this trend to move. Nigerians are tired. Nigerians need to change this government.
All right,
people
Mr.
are suffering
Kalgo.
on a daily basis.
If you allow me to come in here, please.
Taxi driver.
If you allow me to come in here, please. Some critics have described this coalition as a gathering of aggrieved politicians looking for relevance. How would you respond to that?
I totally disagree. If you say they are looking for relevance, why are they trending all over? Do you think that Tinubu will not do anything to have all these people on his back? These are people who can change the government. So when you mean that, okay, because they're not looking for relevance. If they're looking for relevance, they would walk into, and then they will work in the APC government. APC government will die to have all these people on their side. Who would not want to be, tell me ask Tinubu himself. Will he not be happy to have Atiku in APC now? Will he not be happy to have Amechi in APC now? Will he not be happy to have people like Erufai in APC now? Look at what is happening. Look at even their former vice chairman, their former chairman. Onyegu. These are people who was there. These are the main people, the backbone of the APC then. When they say, no, we are tired. What is happening now is just like a one-sided politics. That no, politics is supposed to be for all. It's not about just for a few people. They don't want to be part of the situation whereby Nigerians are suffering, dying on a daily basis. They want to be part of something good. They want to be part of something they want to be part of fixing Nigeria. That is why all these people are now in ADC. They will at least went to a different party as well. Or they can go into PDP, because PDP is also one of the biggest opposition party then. But no longer. Now ADC is the biggest opposition party now in Nigeria.
All right, Mr. Kalgo, we'll come back to you and Demola, but that'll be right after this short break.
Now, can you help us understand what exactly is the ADC bringing to the table, so that it shows that it's not like every other political party, and also in the games ahead, what are the things you want to present to Nigerians that you say will stand you out from other political parties?
Security, employment, good economy. Are we going to make sure that our health sector is fixed? People are suffering. Look at what is happening in this country. Look at our roads. Everywhere is damaged. You can't even travel peacefully in Nigeria anymore. So we're going to make sure that there's security, there's employment, and then more especially look at our civil servants, my brother. Look at how they are suffering. Most of them have turned into taxi drivers. Like, go and stay around 3 p.m., 4 p.m. at the Eagle Square. You see almost every one of them is now picking passengers. People are suffering. So we are going to bring something different, something new, so that Nigerians can understand that this is the real dividend of democracy, so that Nigerians can feel among, so that our youth will get jobs. Not just ordinary job of getting 40,000, 50,000 naira salary, which is going to do nothing for you. We believe that.
Yeah, Mr. Kalgo. Yeah, I was just okay.
All right, yeah. Demola Lawrence. Demola Lawrence. All right.
Yeah, so I was about asking Cargo that they're coming in to solve the problems they were also helped to create. Because most of those people were in charge, like we said earlier, of Nigeria all this while. And those problems were there. And I remember in the 1970s, we kept on saying water for all. We still have the water challenge. And what problems do they want to solve? The ones they also help to create.
Well, Mr. Kalgo, I believe you heard my colleague, because he believes that these problems you're talking about, some of these leaders or past leaders actually contributed to the problem. Exactly. So how do you intend to solve them?
Can he mention one problem they contributed?
Yeah, if you're talking about unemployment, PDP was in charge for about 16 years, and we've had that. We've had issues with roads, so it's not as if it's a new development. So that's what I want us to clarify. Also, because PDP had ruled this country before.
During the PDP era, that was when you and I were enjoying the benefit of the dividend of democracy. That was when you and I were buying Bank of Rice at the end of 8,000 naira. That's why we were buying credit at 700 naira. That was why we were buying petroleum at rate of almost 100 and something naira. 80 naira at the point. 80 naira or 85 naira at that PDP era. That is PDP for you. Talk about the APC. How much is bag of rice now? How much is crate of egg now? How much is bag of cement now? You mentioned
Mr. Kalgo.
what you need to do is you need to compare so that you understand, so that Nigerians will understand.
Mr.
Nigerians
Kalgo.
were enjoying during the time of PDP.
All
Yes,
right.
my sister.
Mr. Kalgo, there are concerns now because yes, you have some glowing promises and foresight to what you intend to do, but there seems to be an internal resistance from some of these ADC stakeholders who feel their party has been hijacked. How do you intend to manage this tension that is building within this new party?
Point of correction, not some of them. One of them,
Just
who
one?
was the presidential candidate of 2023 election. And this person, we know what they are doing. We know how he gets onto this point. Where was he when all these things were planning ahead? Where was he 3-4 months ago? Where was he 10 months ago? Where just yesterday? He's just a presidential candidate who have failed woefully, who have nothing to show. So is that something that we should be worried of? No, we are not worried about it. This is politics. We're ready for them. 2027, it is ADC and Milok. So we are ready for them.
All right, Mr. Kalgo, let's look at it this way. The APC already has its own candidate that is from the south. Is the ADC coming in to present the southern candidate as presidential candidate for 2027, or are you looking at taking it to the north?
The ADC will decide when the time comes, and then we will monitor, and then we will see where the energy is going based on the Nigerians, what the Nigerians want. It is not for ADC to decide. It is for the people of Nigeria to decide what they want, how they want it. But for now, we are going to play an open game so that everybody will be part of the ADC. And then when the time comes, then we know what to do. If Nigerians want to go for a certain candidate, so be it. If they want to go with another candidate, so be it. All we are looking for is somebody that is going to take us to promised land. We are tired. My brother, we are hungry.
Well, Mr. Kalgo, let's talk about youth involvement. You've been at the center of the youth mobilization. What role would young people play in this new coalition? And how is it different from the usual tokenism you see during elections?
The youth are going to play a major role. That is why in ADC, we are going to give the youth some key positions at the National Working Committee, which the APC and the PDP have not. So this is different. The youth to play a major role, and also the youth are also going to be the face of the ADC. So this is to tell you that ADC is a party for the youth and for everybody. So that is why we are different.
So I like what you say. You're going to give the youths important position. Somebody raised an observation yesterday. I think one of the presidential aspirant in 2023. He said, if you take a look at all those who were at the ADC forum yesterday, that the youths were not represented. So according to him, there's just the same recycling of old faces.
That is politics, my brother. This is just the beginning. Those were our leaders. And then our leaders have to be in front. Just like I said to you, the youth are going to hold a key position at the National Working Committee. How many key in the Working Committee have you seen as the interim? Just only 3 for now. So watch and see the list. Am I not the youth? Was I not there? Do you know how many caliber of youth were there? So you calculate all these things. So let them talk. It's just trying to give a negative impression to Nigerians about the ADC of the thing. Let us start. Let's keep watching, my brother. They are afraid. They don't even know what to do. They are in a confusion right now, my brother.
All right, it's an interesting one you mentioned there, but I would like to ask, ultimately, what is the goal of this coalition for 2027? Is it just to unseat the APC, or you have a long-term governance and development agenda beyond the elections?
That was why I said to you, people are hungry, people are angry, insecurity, unemployment, so many things. It's not just about winning. It is about the betterment of this country. It's about you and I. It's about our coming children. It's about our future. That is what ADC stands for.
Okay, just a few days ago, before this meeting yesterday, the presidential candidate of the Labour Party in the 2023 election was reported to have said that his name will be on the ballot in 2027. Now, he was at your meeting yesterday, and also the former Vice President Atiku Abubakar is rumored also to be interested. Do you think Vice President Atiku Abubakar will drop his ambition for the man who said, my name will be on the ballot?
Obi will be on the ballot. Atiku will be on the ballot. Amechi will be on the ballot. And other people, even some youth are planning to join. So ADC is for all of us. ADC does not belong to Atiku Abubakar. ADC does not belong to Peter Obi. ADC does not belong to Amechi. It belongs to all Nigerians, my brother. And whoever emerge, everybody will join a hand and make sure that that person succeeds. Because we are tired. We need to send Tinubu back to Lagos.
Well, in an interesting angle you brought there, and we'll definitely keep our eye on that to see how it unfolds ahead of 2027. But just before we let you go, you come from Kebbi State, a stronghold of the APC. What political value do you bring to the ADC and this coalition in terms of grassroots support and northern mobilization?
If you look at the last election, we won the 3 senatorial seats in PDP. A majority of the reps in PDP. The governorship election was massively rigged. You also what happened. So, and then for almost like one of the, after like 3 different consecutive times of the election, PDP won the presidential election in Kebbi last election. So we are going to bring the same energy. We are even going to do more. This time around, we are going to win the gubernatorial election. We are going to have all senators and the reps. Unfortunately, our senators becomes APC. Unfortunately, those are people who have no regard for their people. And then we are going to defeat them for 2027. We're going to push that same energy, not only in Kebbi, entire Northwest. And I'm sure, you know, the Northwest bring about almost 53% of the Nigerian votes. We are going to deliver that vote. We are going to do more than what people are even expecting us to do. And this time, 2027 is not going to end in courts. It's going to end at the polling units. We are going to stand our ground. There will be no any corner. We will make sure that we deliver our zone, not only Kebbi State. We will deliver Northwest for the presidential candidate of the ADC, COP 2027. And I hope then, my sister, I will call you for celebration during the time when we win the presidential election, inshallah.
Still then, thank you so much for joining us on the program this morning.
Thank you, my sister. Thank you, my brother.
Thank you very much.
Well, we have now joining us in the studio Godwin Williams, ADC chairman of Nasarawa State. It's good to have you on the program this morning.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me.
Well, the former chairman of your party, that's the national chairman, yesterday, he said that the coalition talks has been on for 18 months. So why is it that now we are suddenly hearing complaints from the party, some party leaders saying that they were not being carried along, they are being sidelined? Is it not a case of crying over spilt milk?
It is. Thank you for this question. Ralph Nwosu has been in the party since 2005. Approximately, it's about 20 or more than 20 years for now. We came on board through Congress. Before you become a legitimate chairman, you have to go through process, which is Congress. You must write to INEC for confirmation. They give you date to keep you safe in case of any litigation coming behind. We did it. We went to Abeokuta. We did it, that is 2022, 24th of May, before the national convention in Abeokuta. On reaching there, all our presidential candidates were lined up for screening because it is through delegate that they can come in. Dumobika Atiku is so lucky to emerge as a presidential candidate. We didn't know that Mr. Ralph also has a pocket of problem with him. Though we were told that he was bargaining for money, we should give about ₦1 billion so that he can stand down everything and hand over the party to him, which we say no. Having noticed this, we return home, and I noticed that we have this problem litigation, because if you don't have the legitimate chairman or the watch ESCO at the top, even if you present a candidate, the candidate will not be protected, cannot be protected, because you are coming as an ordinary person.
Now, let's go straight because of time. Who is the national chairman? Are you doubting, are you contesting the claims of Ralph Nwosu that he is not the national chairman?
He is not.
Who is the national chairman?
We have chosen a national chairman through our neck, because we are still constitutional chairman.
Now, who is this person?
This is the state chairman of Benue State. He's the state chairman of Benue. Illegally,
What's his name?
Alias Adiko from Otupo.
When did you choose him?
We chose him last week.
Just last week?
Just last week.
So your party, you're saying that your party had no national chairman before last week?
Of course, yes, because the judgment that is coming from Justice Binta Yako 2022 set aside.
And no caretaker chairman?
No, because they said you cannot present caretaker. It's an election process. It is election era, so you must hand over to an elected person. But Ralph wants to. I see what my problem. Let me tell you. I'm doubting INEC for now. INEC have problems. They are causing a lot of problems.
We've run out of time. I would have loved to hear what is actually happening within this party, but we'll have to go
a lot
now.
of problems are beneath.
We'll definitely bring you back to discuss this issue.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for joining us.